The quorum calling.
You're okay, go.
Yeah, we're good.
Being recorded.
First, we have a variation order for this evening. City of Thompson variation order for 29th of March, 2021, variation order 995-21, 28 Basswood. We're gonna have a call to order. The supporting materials for variation order are 995-21-28 Basswood Avenue, Lot 7, Block 17, Plan 739, TL Field. All the information is here. Is there any persons here that are for or against or want to present? Calling the second time. Any persons presenting for or against variation order for 28 Basswood? Third and final time, asking for presentations for or against for variation order 995-21 Basswood Avenue. Seeing none. We'll call for adjournment. Or do we go?
Don't make call for adjournment.
Okay. Duncan and Earl, all in favor? Thank you. I guess I didn't get a call to order. People. Okay. Next, we'll move into our regular meeting of council for 29th of March, 2021. Have the meeting called to order. I would just like to remind everybody, we are a Treaty 5 territory and we are all treaty people. Thank you. I'd like to call for an approval of the agenda. Earl?
Point of order, Madam Mayor, if I may, please.
Yes, Councillor Fountain?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We had made an attempt to pull the three items that are on the table from the March 1st meeting, second meeting off of the table so that I can rescind them. That did not work last week, unfortunately, or last meeting, sorry. So today I'd like to ask you to use your power under section 153 of the procedural bylaw to order the motions withdrawn. The reason I'm going to ask for those motions to be withdrawn is not because I don't believe in the motions, but because I don't believe there's support on council. In addition to the lack of support, these items were tabled contrary to the rules of our procedural bylaw. As such, they do not belong to council. And given that the mess we're in with the Monteo, I'd hope that you would do this. Again, that's section 153 of the procedural bylaw, which gives the mayor to order the withdrawal of motions that are not of interest to the municipality.
Okay, thank you. Anthony,
Sure.
stand up.
We confirmed with municipal relations because the motions weren't seconded in the first place. As soon as they were amended off the agenda, whether they couldn't actually even be tabled, as that amendment to remove them basically killed them on the spot. So they'd have to be reintroduced with new resolution numbers. To use section 153 of the mayor's powers, they actually have to have been seconded because it requires the mayor to have the first and seconder remove them. So at this time, they're considered dead and would have to be reintroduced by any member of council.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Fountain? Well, I've got approval of the agenda. Next, we're going to commend community comments.
You have to still get the vote on the approval of the agenda.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. Councillor Fountain. Can I have all in favor of approval of the agenda? I had Deputy Mayor Wong and Councillor Colburn approving, and then I'm asking for all in favor.
Yep, you have Councillor Fountain, McMurdo, Lundmark, and Councillor Ellsworth.
Okay. Thank you.
It's unanimous.
Next, we'll go to community comments and feedback. Anybody has any comments or feedback, please stand up, state your name and. your
Ron
report.
Matachuk, 20 Ash Street. The last meeting I asked a question on the check register. And the question was on check number 0032317 in the amount of $10,419.47. That's what that's for.
Thank you.
Administration asked finance, and what we were told is that was for the hiring of smoot contractors to move snow at the snow dome. So I believe it was the rental or the time for the use of a dozer.
Okay, was that tendered? And if
That I-
not, why not?
That I would not have in front of me, that I have to look.
Okay, that's my question for today.
Okay. Thank you. We will find that out, sir. Any other comments or community?
Sure.
Oh,
I noticed on the way here, there's just on my short trip to City Hall, I saw didn't see them, they're buried. I saw two locations where there's hydrants that were buried by loaders, not by the snow drifting, but loaders actually placing the snow on top of them. That's very dangerous, and I want to know is something going to be done about this procedure or this thing that's allowed by this council. Last year, one of them was buried also. Here we go again with that one, and now it's another one buried.
thank you, sir. We'll definitely look into that.
Excuse me, Mayor, for
Uh-huh.
clarification. Where, do you have the locations of those?
One is across the street from Domino's, and one is the corner of the back lane on Hemlock.
On the, which side, the Ukrainian church side or
Opposite side.
opposite side? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Okay, Dennis, did you have a,
Yeah. My name is Dennis Foley, my address is 219 Deerwood. I just wanted to bring something to the attention of council that was brought to my attention over the first weekend. As some of you may know, I run the off-road park just south of town here, about 15 minutes, the old Stockyard track. Well, it was brought to my attention that the committee that is in charge of the cold weather testing was recently gone above and beyond our heads to make an attempt to acquire that piece of property. When I had the conversation with a member of the committee, I was very much told that even though we have the permit, doesn't matter, too bad if we want you out here. So the reason why I'm here to council is I'm hoping that, I know council may not be on that committee, but I know that they're in the loop of what's going on, that I would hope that as much as I am in favor of economic development and growth in our city, I do also care about the people who live in the city and what we have for recreational activities. So I don't want to see any snowmobile trails, ATV trails, or already established recreational areas taken over or just shoved to the side because another organization. Like I said, it's just wanted to, hopefully that our group and every other off-road group, including like, the Trail Breakers and other organizations, have the support comps in the city that we'll try to maintain our trail system and our recreational facilities as much as possible. So like I said, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and if anybody has any more questions, they can get a hold of me.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We should always be in for the consultation.
Could I ask a clarification?
Yeah.
Is your permit through the Crown Lands branch
It is
or?
through the Crown Land, yes.
Okay, thank you.
An additional point of clarification, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Can you ask the member of the public if the province has approached him with any indication that they might do this?
No, I got the head up actually from Valet. The committee had gone to Valet and was asking for their permission to take over and use the property. Our permit is through the province, as Councillor Fountain, I believe you're just adjacent to us on the same area there. Their goal was to, and I did find out later in the day that they're no longer going to be using it. However, the fact that they have gone above to valet without any consultation, I find very disturbing. And I know that nobody from the city would feel good if they did that as well for them. So,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Answer you, Councillor Fountain?
Thank you.
Any other community comments? I've had from everybody from here. There's nobody on Zoom or that tonight. Okay,
No hands raised.
thank you. With that, we will move on. Ask for the adoption of minutes. Regular meeting of council, March 15th. So right now I have resolution 2021-940 moved by, but I do not have a seconder. I will read it up and you can, please. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in Council Chamber City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba on May 15th, 2021 be adopted as circulated. It has been moved by Councillor Colburn. Do I have a seconder on Zoom?
I second that.
Braden?
Councillor Fountain.
Councillor Fountain.
Yeah, I think I was just going to say, I think you read May, but March 15th, but yeah, I'm fine with it.
Actually, it actually says on Monday, the 15th, 2021, it says missing March in the. All those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Unanimous.
Everybody.
Oh, okay, carried. Next, we have correspondence. 6.1 is a letter from Tom Farrell, President of the Manitoba Association of Senior Centers in age-friendly Manitoba. Dear Mayor Colleen Smook, I am writing to recognize you, your council members, and your community for your efforts in becoming a more age-friendly community. Across Manitoba, like yours, communities large and small, rural or urban, have embarked on the same journey. With funding from Manitoba Health, the Manitoba Association of Senior Centers has assumed province-wide leadership in guiding the Age-Friendly Manitoba Initiative, AFM. Consultations undertaken last summer with the community leaders told us to explore new mechanisms to connect communities and to share information, celebrate success, and solve problems. To this end, you have seen our new monthly e-blast age-friendly newsletter, which was introduced in January of this year. It contains up-to-date information on the AFM, a community profile component, as well as stories from across the province. We're also proud to introduce you to our new Age-Friendly Manitoba website, www.agefriendlymanitoba.com, which we encourage you to share widely in your community. The site outlines the many benefits of becoming a more age-friendly community and points you to resources and shares success stories that may support your efforts. Perhaps importantly, we want to let you know that we have assigned a member of our age-friendly resource team to your community. Team members are able to consult with your community, assist in developing plans and priorities, and link you to resources, including other communities with experiences that may support your efforts. The age-friendly model is unique. It integrates a community social environment, the people part with the built environment, the place part. We know every community is different. We know that change comes in cycles and that success enjoyed over a few years can become a challenge to sustain in other years. We also know that becoming more age-friendly is a shared responsibility within the community. While we continue to be in touch with you and the contacts we have in your community, please do not hesitate to contact us if you want to learn more about our resource team and the supports that we can provide. You can do this through an email to our executive director, Connie Newman, and it's hello@agefriendlymanitoba.com. Sincerely, Tom Farrell, President. And I would like to add that Tom Farrell have this picture on the wall. He was one of the former mayors of Thompson, lived and raised his family in Thompson for many years. So it's nice to see that he's still working very much with the province and our own community. So thank you for that. Any comments?
May I, Mayor Smook?
Yes, Braden?
Yeah, just quickly, I'd like to say that we reviewed the letter and at the Rec and Community Services meeting as well. And I believe created an action item to determine who the assigned member of the age-friendly resource team for Thompson is. So just a little more info. Thanks.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all. And we will definitely, if we haven't already reached out to Mr. Farrell, we definitely will. We're going to go next into resolutions. Resolution 7.1 is a resolution approving variation order 995-21-28 Basswood Avenue Lot 7, Block 17, Plan 739 PLTO North Division. Go to management.
Sure. There's been an application put forward from a resident who'd like to build an accessory building, basically a garage on their property. The normal side yard that's required for that building would be 6 feet from the edge of the property. They've requested it to be reduced to 2.5 feet. This was reviewed at the Development Review Committee. The Development Review Committee had recommended forward that it be considered only down to 3 feet. So we had a hearing earlier this evening. There is no representations for or against. Now it's up to council to decide what variation, how many feet of variation it would grant, if any.
Okay, so now with the explanation, the reason I asked for that is I also don't have a mover on this resolution. So now you have Anthony's explanation, and I'm going to read the resolution, but it will not move forward if I don't get a mover, right?
So mover into seconder.
I've got a seconder. Resolution 2021-041, no mover, seconded by Councillor Colburn. Whereas the city of Thompson is in receipt of a variation order application number 995-21-25 Basswood Avenue, Lot 7, Block 17, Plan 739 PLTO North Division, to decrease the required side yard setback from 1.8 meters, 6 feet, to 0.762 meters, 2.5 feet, for an accessory building in a single detached residential zone, R1. And whereas under the provisions of the Planning Act, a public hearing has been held to hear representations for and or against the variation order. Now therefore be it resolved, the council approved variation order application 995-21-28 Basswood, Lot 7, Block 17, Plan 739 PLTO North Division, with the condition that the side yard setback is decreased from 6 feet to 3 feet. Do I have a mover for that motion? Duncan?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Anthony has given the explanation. Is there any questions from council? Deputy Mayor Wong?
Since I'm the move, I gotta speak first, right, Mayor? Anyways, my question to administration, with this addition garage, will we max up the parcel coverage, which is the 12% in total?
Does it, sorry?
With this garage addition, will we max up the 12% of the land use?
Not according to our building inspector.
Sorry?
Not according to our building inspector, that the
So
building
there's gonna
itself would be
25%.
fine. The issue is more on the variation on the side yard.
Is there any neighbor, I don't think so, right? For the concern?
I don't know about that. All I have is what was presented in the package.
Thank you.
And you have Councillor Lundmark.
Councillor Lundmark?
I just couldn't hear, somebody coughed when you were saying the distance. We made a recommendation to 3 feet. Is that what it says on the resolution?
The resolution
The
says
res-
3 feet.
The resolution is from 6 feet to 3 feet, as we discussed at development review.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I didn't hear right when you said that part. Thank you.
Councillor Fountain.
Councillor Olson?
Fountain.
Oh, Councillor Fountain?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have no objections to this variance. I'll be supporting it. I do want to point out something that's procedural. Today, you took this motion without a mover and a seconder. I didn't have the luxury of having the chair at the meeting of council on March 2nd to do the same. This is important because we draft laws bylaws for our community to follow. And yet we continue to have issues with the way we manage our own council. I just wanted to point that out. Thank you very much.
When that came, that basically, your resolutions, they were already basically tabled at the approval of the agenda stage, so it never got to the stage where I had read them out. So, and I think we'll go to Anthony for any further.
Yeah, once we discuss this with the province, many municipalities do it different ways. The ways are written, you can do them ahead of time. It's still legal to do them resolution by resolution. But if it's at the agenda setting time and they're tabled or they're amended at that time, they would just die. So if this wasn't to be done tonight, there would be no meeting tonight. Because too many
Yeah,
people.
just to follow up, I fully understood. Thank you very much. I just think that, if we're going to do it one way, we do it that one way consistently. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Colbert?
Okay, with this variance for Basswood, 3 feet, have we done this before with any other residents, Thompson?
Yes, there's been multiple with 3
And,
feet.
Has there been, is the minimum 3 feet?
No,
Is there any-
council could vary to what 0 should they want, but there's implications for the neighbor's yard, there's implications for National Fire Code.
Yeah,
So a person can request whatever they like. This person has requested 2.5, but the development review, after talking to the building inspector, has recommended 3 to council.
so that is within all the codes.
Yep, it's all still within code.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Deputy Mayor Wong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I believe the applications is also 2.5 feet, though, right?
Mhm.
So we have to work with the application or with the recommendation. There's 2 different things.
So the way the resolution is written, it's telling you what was applied for, 2.5 feet, but it's going with the recommendation of development review, which is 3 feet.
That's where it would have been up to persons coming tonight when we had the.
Under a variation order, council can deny the variation order, accept the variation that's requested, or recommend a different variation. That's council's power. So in this case, there's a recommendation to vary what was requested.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Any other councillors on Zoom? Comments?
No.
Okay. I am going to call for the question. All those in favor?
All right.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Okay, unanimous? Okay, carried. Seven point two is a resolution to approve 2020 as a tax year sale. Resolution 2021-042, moved by Deputy Mayor Wong, seconded by Councillor Colbert. Whereas Section 3652 of the Municipal Act provides that council may in any year designate the immediately preceding year or any earlier year as the year for which properties, the taxes in respect of which are in arrears for the year must be offered for sale by auction to recover the tax arrears and credits. Be it resolved that the designated year for which properties in arrears be offered for sale by auction be 2020, meaning all properties with outstanding taxes from the years 2017, 2018, and 2019 or prior. For the management?
Yes, this is more of a housekeeping item that comes up. It's a requirement through the municipal act to set your tax sale year. This had been delayed by council in 2020 due to choices to delay some of the tax processes. But the recommendation coming forward now to council is to set the tax sale year for 2020.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a question. In the resolution, would you allow to put the amount of the tax sale? I know it's never been done, but that's the question I'd like to ask further.
I would have to speak to municipal relations. I've never seen it done. So I don't think I've never seen that happen before. Because what would happen then is, I understand what you're trying to say, so the public knows what the outstanding taxes are.
Public knowledge, that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, thank you.
Councillor Colbert?
I'd like to ask, is there any idea of how many properties there?
I believe we reviewed it at finance. I don't have the number in front of me. At the last finance meeting, I believe there was 100 and some properties, if not more. I believe the total amount of outstanding taxes was over $3 million.
Thank you.
Anybody on Zoom? Questions,
No question.
concerns? Call for the question then. All those in favor?
I,
Carried unanimously. Thank you. I do think I regretted to say that we have regrets from Councillor Valentino and Councillor Approved this evening. I apologize. And on Zoom, we have Councillor Ellsworth, Councillor McMurdo, and Councillor Lenore. In the room,
Councillor Fountain.
and Councillor Fountain, sorry. And in the room, we have Mayor Smook, Deputy Mayor Wong, and Councillor Colbert. Go ahead. There you
Happy to
go.
meet you.
My mask, I swear. 7.3 is a resolution to approve the credit arrangements. Again, with this resolution, 2021-043, I will go to the city manager to explain before I read the resolution, because we do need a seconder.
Sure. This one's a housekeeping item. Basically, every year, we need council's authorization to renew our line of credit. Our line of credit is with the same bank that we bank with. And it would just be the credit authorizations for a $3 million overdraft, should the city need it.
Okay, I'm going to read, gonna ask, I have the resolution 2021-043, moved by Deputy Mayor Wong. And whereas section 1731 of the Municipal Act provides authority for a municipality to borrow money by resolution for operating expenses during a fiscal year, providing the amount borrowed does not exceed the amount collected in taxes and grants in lieu of taxes in the previous fiscal year. Now therefore be it resolved, the council authorizes the credit arrangements of $3 million overdraft between the city of Thompson and the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Be it resolved that all sums borrowed under this resolution be supported by a charge upon the whole of revenues of the city of Thompson. Do I have a seconder for that resolution?
I'll second it.
Councillor McMurdo.
Councillor McMurdo? Go to Deputy Mayor Wong for any.
I think this is a housekeeping issue anyway, so we do that every year.
That's correct.
So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Councillor Cole.
Councillor Colbert?
We do it every year. How much did we use of the overdraft last year?
I don't believe the overdraft was used last year or the year prior, so it's only used as needed.
Yeah. So did it cost the city any money?
I don't believe so. It only costs us if we draw upon it.
Thank you.
Anybody on Zoom with any questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
I,
Are unanimous? Seven point four is a resolution to approve the tabulation of prices for RFP number 10821 for the supply of ready mix concrete for public works. I will also go to administration to explain this, as I will need a second.
Yes, I believe in this case, we had a single tender that's a single bidder that's come back, which is why it's before council. It's for ready mix concrete. And I believe the price that we're receiving this year is slightly than what we received last year. This is reviewed at the Finance and Administration Committee, recommended forward to council for approval. And it's a bit of a housekeeping. It's a yearly purchase.
Thank you. I'll read the resolution and look for a seconder. Resolution 2021-044. It's moved by Councillor Colbert, and be it resolved that council approve the recommendation of the purchasing agent and award the supply of ready-mix concrete for the Public Works Department to DNR Ready Mix Concrete Limited for their tender price of $99,600 plus applicable taxes as per tender file number 20-10821. Do I have a seconder, please?
Second.
Counselor Ellsworth.
Councillor Ellsworth, thank you. I'll go to Councillor Colburn. Do you have any?
Only thing I would have a concern about is, do we exceed our budgets for these things every year?
My understanding is not that we've tendered with a maximum price or maximum quantity. So we go up to that certain amount and that's what the guaranteed price is. If we were to go over, then we'd probably have to come back to council and ask to spend over that.
So we always go with the maximum price, we don't use it, that goes right to reserve, right?
No, this is a budget. So council would have already budgeted how much it would have cost. And then this is what the tendered price would be. So now it's only what we actually use.
Okay,
Yeah, any unspent dollars remain in the coffers. Yeah. Yeah,
thank you.
Any
Council-
other?
McMurdo and Councilor Fountain.
Okay, Councillor McMurdo?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a quick question about the discrepancy between what we used last year. I think it was 30 cubic meters and the estimate for the next 2 years at 150 cubic meters a year. Was last year just an anomaly with, like it's been with a lot of things with COVID?
Anthony?
That is correct. There was a lot less curb and sidewalk repairs last summer due to the way that we had our staffing working, and a lot less lawn repairs. So there was a lot less concrete used last summer. We're
Okay,
anticipating this summer as we catch up.
all right. And I anticipate, like it says, we're only paying for what we use anyways, right? So,
That's correct.
okay, thank you.
Councillor Fountain?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, thank you very much. Question for administration, if I can direct it to them through you, Madam Mayor. Hypothetically, if the winning bidder does not meet regulatory requirements to operate legally in the city of Thompson, would that not kill this contract?
In what way? I'm not sure. Are you saying the way we license them or the way they're licensed by another agency?
By another agency?
If their permits were pulled and they're unable, it's basically, are they able to provide it to us as we tendered? If they breach any part of our contract or cannot provide what is requested, then this contract would then be canceled and we would have to retender or find an alternate supplier.
Does our contract have a clause that would disqualify the winning bidder in the case of a lack of an Environment Act license, for example?
I couldn't analyze that on the spot. That's a question I'd have to go to the contract and look it up. And if, depending what it is, seek legal advice.
Madam Mayor, if I may, I would like to ask to table this till next meeting so that that can be checked.
It's
Okay.
council's prerogative.
Do we need to have?
It'd be a motion to table.
I make the motion to table this till next meeting.
Okay, do we have a seconder?
I'm fine with seconding this, providing it's not an urgent matter that's gonna, with the snow coming down, I imagine we can afford the extra 2 weeks. So I'm okay with tabling it till we get more information.
To call for the
Okay,
question.
call for the question. All those in favor of tabling?
We have Councilor Fountain, Councilor Lundmark, Councilor McMurdo, Councilor Wong, or Deputy Mayor Wong.
Okay, it's passed. It'll be tabled till next meeting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
We're going into bylaws now. 8.1 is the first reading of bylaw 2010-2021, the cemetery bylaw amendment. I'm also going to get administration to explain this one because I will need a seconder. Resolution 021045. Administration.
Yes, this is a bylaw bringing forward to change, basically update and amend the cemetery bylaw. There's changes in here to do with the terms of the different designated officers. It changes the responsibility of the separate cemetery from the superintendent to the manager of assets and infrastructure. And it changes the definitions of directors It's basically a number of housekeeping items that have come up. It's been through the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee, and it's been recommended forward for first reading.
Thank you. With that being said, resolution 2021-045, moved by Councillor Colburn, and I will need a second. Be it resolved that bylaw 2010-2021 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 1925-2015, being a bylaw of the city of Thompson to define the location of a public cemetery and to adopt rules and regulations for its operations, be introduced and read for a first time. Do I have a seconder?
Councillor Fountain's hand is up.
Councillor Fountain?
Yes, I second.
Thank you. I'll go to Councillor Colburn. Do you have any comments?
No, I'm fine with this.
I'll go to other councillors.
Councillor McMurdo.
Councillor McMurdo?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. The only one question, or maybe it's not a big deal, is just with the appointment of the superintendent. The language says from time to time. I don't know if we wanted to be a little more concise with that, or if that's kind of intentionally flexible. Thanks.
Anthony?
It's intentionally written that way so that management has the ability to switch it.
Okay, very good, thanks.
Any other comments? Anybody see anything?
No.
Okay, we'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Unanimous? And this is the first reading, so if anybody has any concerns of that, please, before the second reading. Before. Well, that already brings us to the mayor's report tonight. People. So this report is from March 16th to 29th, 2021, along with Councillor Ellsworth, City Manager Anthony McGuinness, Economic Development Officer Keisha Davis. We met with Winter Weather Testing Committee on March the 16th. A Building Standards Committee appeal hearing was held on March the 18th, along with Councillors Ellsworth, Lundmark, Prue, and City Manager Anthony McGuinness. A Thompson Community Development Corporation Board meeting was held on March 24th. I also attended a virtual presentation by RBC focusing on past COVID and reset for the economy. The budget meetings continue. Various meetings were held: Recreation, Community Services, Development Review, Legal and Finance. Today, Anthony and I had a Teams meeting with members from the Air Force and Army. There will be approximately 120 members in our community to assist 23 outlying communities getting the vaccination shot. They have rooms in hotels in town, but all the other business will be taking place at the airport. They will be using city businesses. They have buses to transport the people out to the airport and that to Vaxport to work from there. So if you notice people in town, it's actually a very good thing for the city of Thompson. And then this afternoon, I had a virtual meeting with Minister Clark regarding the $1.15 million that was announced today that Thompson will be getting a grant toward affordable housing. It is to work with partners in the community that we're already working. Affordable housing goes with our community wellness and strategy program as one of the initiatives that we need. Just also to note that the PAW got $450,000 and Flin Flon got $421,000. So the North has come out pretty good out of this. And look forward to working with all our partners on this. And I just would like to say it is very nasty out there. This weather's to last for a couple of days. The street clearing is continuing, but the way the snow's blowing up, it's not very nice out there with the snowbanks. So with that being said, I'll go. Is there anybody else in council that did any? I would like to thank Deputy Mayor Wong for taking over the chair last council meeting when I wasn't here. Thank you. And I'll go to other councillors. Did you have any city business that you did?
Oh, Councillor Fountain.
Councillor Fountain?
Madam Mayor, if you'd allow me to give a shout out and a thank you to our Public Works crew for the work that they've done in preparation of the melt. The fire hydrants issue notwithstanding, I know that I've received a number of concerned calls with respect to the effect of the massive amount of melt that we'll get. And we'll note here publicly that Public Works seems to have done quite a lot of work in freeing up storm drains. And I think that that'll make a big difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, for sure. I've had some compliments on that. And I just think that we want to be, we'll have to be cognizant that now all those storm drains are now plugged or frozen again. So we'll be almost starting from scratch. And also I'd like to thank the staff at the TRCC for the rollout that's coming there. It's a bit slow, but it's definitely coming. And I've got lots of compliments on people being able to use the walking track. And the vaccine clinic, we have all kinds of good news stories from people that have attended the TRCC and how they're being looked after for the vaccine. So kudos to everybody involved there. So thank you. And with that, we'll call for adjournment. Councillor Colburn,
Aye.
Councillor McMurdo, all in favor?
Yeah.
Adjourn. Thank you. Have a good evening. Drive safe.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Just so you know, you lost Councillor Lundmark probably the last 1 minute. He froze, but.
What do you need? The next one.
Anthony?
Yep.